I told you in my last video about my yard that, my backyard anyways, that we were going to replant the gardens to make them edible landscaping around here. This is the first start, and this is where we had all the, this is on the side of my house where we keep our ladders and garbage and pails and stuff. So it doesn't really get too much use except for us walking back and forth through it. But we're going to, we started with the underbrush of the oak branches and just the cuttings from the brush around the yard, and we laid that down, and then we laid a layer of topsoil. We went to the garden center and bought a ton, or not a ton, a yard of black topsoil. So we layered it there, and then we layered in between it the hay, and the hay is the moisture barrier on top, or keep the moisture in. And so over time it will biodegrade and hopefully make some nice soil for that area, especially that area that needs it. And then just threw some here. We have our duck buried here, so I can't imagine we're going to be planting there, but it was a bald spot because my neighbor had he had a growing vine there and it shaded out the area. So here we have my pond. It was empty the last time I told you I would show you it filled. Now I have filled it, and then I emptied out again. So we're going to have to redo. This is going to be another project. So we have so many going on, but this absolutely has to be done. We're going to have to rip it out and either patch the hole or just start over. He kind of wants to start over. He wants a bigger pond, which that'll be our third pond and we've had, because he rebuilds them. Now I told you we don't have any fish living in here, but you see what we do have? Look at these little guys. I say little. Come here. They'll let me get him. Now I'm stuck. Here, he's not as big as the other one, but look at the little bastard. You can find tons of them here. Look at him. He's probably not even our biggest. Stay still. Look at him. Let's see if there's any more in here hiding. Let's see if you can see over there. Oh, look at you. They don't really bother me, except that literally there can be 10 to 20 toads in this little tiny pond, and they are dirty little things. But since I've allowed it to dry out, there's not as many. But they're here. When it gets way too much, we take them and try and take them to the canal down the street. I don't know if that's legal, but they came from around here. Not like we imported them. Uh-oh. See this? This is white fly. And I'm glad I actually saw this, because this wasn't here the other day. Which means I need to get on it. See this? City soot, whatever you want to call it. That white fly will take over all this, and we have to spray every once in a while, but I spray a vinegar and water, a little Dawn, and I kill them that way. And that thing works wonderful. Now I will get carried away, and when I do, the leaves all fall off the trees. But I don't care, because they've been beaten up and eaten anyways. I don't mind some eating, because, you know, all these animals hopefully have a purpose, and I don't want to totally eradicate any one thing, because, well, they must be needed for something, whether I know it or not. So that's our plans for the pond. So we've also started, told you he's going to do his beans and his thing around my pool here. So we put in another layer of topsoil, and in between we put the straw, and we'll let that start to erode and get ready, because right now we're going to be planting the plants, the little seedlings, and then when they get big enough we'll put them in here. Now he's got to leave me room because I walk around this pool to clean it, because as you see it's green again, and with all this rain, I think it's rained 50 days straight here where I live, which is ridiculous. And over there my neighbor just trimmed his oak and gave us his cuttings, ones we wanted, because we're going to use them in some of the bedding. We haven't started in the front yet. And over here, and I got some pictures I want to put in here so you can see what this actually looked like before. And then, I don't know if you can tell, it's like beat up in the back. FP&L came to check the integrity of the pole, which is good that they do these safety checks, but they dug up all my back garden here, which, you know, whatever, I don't really care. I'm gonna do, but, and they had to throw it right on top, killed the morning glories, because that's, I looked and they had a tarp and this huge mountain of dirt, so they went pretty deep. But like I said, this is about to die off anyways because of the summer heat. They've grown and seeded, and now it's doing what it's supposed to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try. How we got this to grow anyways was a bag of not sunflower seeds, but bird seed. So we have all, this is looking good, but none of my fruit come to bear. Anyways, we're going to get a bunch of organic, like squash and things like that, and just crush them up and use it for, you know, make its own compost and throw it out there, seeds and all. See what grows, just like this. We'll just let it grow, and it's just going to be wild gardening. Let it just do what it does without interfering in it. I think it's called perma-gardening, which is actually pretty cool, because if you think about it, you know, nature does it best. And if you just give it the right environment and let it do what it does, let the weakest weed out, that way you don't have to worry about, you know, spraying and killing, because the strong of these will survive and the weaklings will go away. Look at him popping. That's fair game in here. We always allow, this is for all the mice, the possum, anything that wants to live in our little yard. All this is really meant for them. It gives them the protection from the dogs, from other predators, and as long as they're not in my house, they can have the yard. But they do like to move into my back porch, which is just because of the dog food and whatever else they want, and they eat it, and then they steal all their food is what they do. So we have left it. That's how we get the ducks and stuff. We had a duck move in for 7 years. Let's see where that little guy went. He's in there. See how he buried himself. This water's actually pretty clean. And this stuff is monkey grass, and really should not be in here. My husband likes this stuff, or that and the other one, but it takes over. It grows so quickly that it can suffocate anything in there. Anyways, that's it. I just wanted to give you a little update.